This is the August 8th Weather Extreme video. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and keep saying here in the summertime, I'll just save yesterday's Weather Extreme video and see if I can change the date. But the weather just keeps staying the same as we're kind of stuck in this weather pattern. All right, let's get the Skycam imagery this morning. And there's a look at our Trussville Skycam. We saw some fog yesterday, but now we've got some high cirrus clouds. High cirrus clouds visible also on Mount Cheehah's Skycam. Highest point in Alabama as we look to the south-southeast along the spine of the Appalachians. And finally in North Alabama, mostly clear, although again, a few cirrus clouds present. The frontal system that brought us a little better coverage for rain on Friday has finally washed out. And that allows us to get back under high pressure. And in the upper atmosphere, the trough that actually brought that front kind of down into the area is moving off, and that brings in that ridge, the Energizer Ridge, it seems like. And so as we see under the center of that ridge, the temperature is very hot. Look at those values in north central Texas. Lows in the the lower 80s, and so very, very warm. Not quite that warm here in central Alabama, as we're generally around the mid-70s with a little bit of range in there. QPF-wise, not expecting a great deal of rain over the north and central part of Alabama. Only whatever rain we're going to get is going to come from isolated showers as the heat comes back, especially by midweek with heat indices around 110. The focus for the southern part of the United States is going to be on the sea breeze fronts and especially across the peninsula of Florida. Storm Prediction Center outlooking a slight risk area stretching from the eastern Great Lakes across and just north of the Chicago area, back through Iowa and into extreme northeastern Colorado, with a small area back in Utah and Nevada. And then on day two, the areas consolidate into one that's primarily over Iowa, the Dakotas, and parts of Nebraska. Again, the westerlies being that far north. On the National Hurricane Center's outlook, watching three areas. Colin still struggling. There's a look at Colin, and just hardly anything to write home about. There's the track of the official track of what the National Hurricane Center is forecasting for Colin as it slides by Bermuda. There's a tropical storm warning for them, but doesn't look like they're going to have much more than just a few squalls. Here's the area out in the south central Atlantic, certainly fairly healthy with some strong convection along with it, but it's not looking that fabulous. It looked a little better yesterday, actually, I thought, anyway. And out in the Pacific, just mentioned real quick, we have Estelle, and there's the track for Estelle. Looks like Estelle doesn't know what she wants to do either, and there's a picture, the IR picture of Estelle. All right, this is a 060 GFS model run. And as you might expect, the convection is going to be confined primarily to the southern part of the state and along the Gulf Coast as part of the sea breeze effect. The ridge builds in strong. This is the Energizer Ridge, and excuse me, that ridge builds in very strong on Monday, stays with us on Tuesday, and stays with us on Wednesday, but beginning to recede off to the west a little bit. Now, even though it's receding, I still think Wednesday could be one of our warmest days with heat indices approaching 110. And again, as I've mentioned, it looks like just the possibility for isolated showers and thunderstorms. Thursday, that ridge is now over the Four Corners area, and we're beginning to show the developments of the trough over the eastern part of the country. Excuse me. And the trough does dive in a little bit more, and this is good because we're going to see height values drop at least about 60 meters, and that's on the order of about a 5-degree drop. So we'll get away from the 100-degree mark at least, lower and mid-90s for the most part. And this is the surface map for Friday the 13th, August the 13th. So August has a Friday the 13th in there, and maybe that will be our lucky day as far as getting some little better coverage of rain. The trough comes in and stays with us as another strong shortwave is moving across south central Canada. That's going to help to drop in and maybe enhance this trough a little bit. And again, as the trough kind of moves off to the east, the frontal system will be swept to the south, so that should end our rain pretty much for next weekend. And there is the trough plus the other one coming in from south central Canada. And again, that just keeps us into the possibility of isolated showers. Now, the trough does get a little bit stronger, as we see on the 17th and 18th. This is the 18th. So certainly some hopes of seeing at least more typical 90-degree values and not the excessive heat. And then finally in Voodoo Country, guess what comes back? Yes, the Energizer Ridge comes back. And there it is again, and a big ridge covering nearly 2/3 of the country. Well, we appreciate you tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. My understanding is that James will be back in the saddle once again tomorrow after a little short vacation. Don't think he went anywhere, just taking some time off to recharge. In the meantime, I hope that you have a great Sunday and Godspeed.